Hello everybody, welcome to another reading. Today we're taking a look at a very recent case, which I thought we should do first because it's only been a few days. It is the case of Cleo Smith, a 4-year-old from Australia who got kidnapped overnight on the 16th of October. They were out camping with her mother's boyfriend, and a younger sibling. They shared a large tent which had a couple of different segments in it, and the adult slept on one side of the tent and there was like a divider in between, and the two children slept in the other side. And in the morning she was gone, including her sleeping bag, and the zipper was up in such a height that she would not be able to reach that far herself. So we're strongly suspecting that she was kidnapped and that she didn't just run off on her own. There isn't much else known. I actually haven't seen the tent. I'm not really sure if there is footage of the tent. They were at Blowhole campsite in Western Australia. That's about all I know. And the discovery that she was missing was made at around 6 a.m. and they've been looking for her ever since, and I believe the mother and the boyfriend have not left the area yet. So that is very tragic, of course. When a small child gets missing, there's a lot of questions that need to be answered. In any case, I thought we could use the tarot to try to get some answers, or some information anyway, about the situation. We're starting off with the Affirmators deck, which is this one over here, which has a lot of very cheerful imagery, and I thought, since we're dealing with a child, I thought that would be a good deck to use. For further questions, moving on to a slightly less cheerful deck, but still with small animals, it is the Tarot of the Magical Forest. So for any further questions, we'll have some of those. As per usual, I'm just going to start shuffling the deck, and I'll tell you what the cards say to me. I'm going to start shuffling, and when I have enough, I'll be right back. Okay, I don't know if you guys are seeing this, but this looks like somebody thinking that they have the right to do this. Justice came through pretty strongly there next to Death, but let's start at the top over here. We see the Knight of Swords, which is a reverse. It seems to me like, particularly with the Three of Swords next to it, that it is somebody who took a very rash action, and it's because of some type of conflict that this happened. Also, the Seven of Pentacles is over here as well. This is like a wasted investment next to a Seven of Cups upright. So this is like wishes that they would have liked to have seen fulfilled, and in order to fulfill that, we get the Six of Swords, which is the taking her away and going somewhere else where they want them to be. So this first row is very much somebody feels hard done by, and they decided to take matters into their own hands. So somebody who felt like their investment was taken away. Could this be the father of the child? I don't know. I don't really know anything about the person, whether they're still alive or not, or in the picture. No idea. Maybe somebody else from the extended family, or somebody who just wandered by with some type of mental issues, who felt like their own child was taken away from them, and therefore they would take somebody else's child. I don't know. There's all sorts of people out there, but that's kind of what this row is starting to look like. They had ideas, dreams for having this child in their life, and they decided to take them for that reason, it seems like. Then we have Eight of Swords here. This is this kind of points toward that thing I was just talking about, like somebody who has some type of mental issue, because the Eight of Swords is being stuck inside of a trap, inside your own mind, a certain thought pattern that you cannot let go of. And in this case, it's in reverse, which I feel like is almost like a metastasized version of that. And by that, I mean sometimes you have a thought pattern that is so pervasive that that becomes your truth. So I think that this person feels like whatever they did is just, because I said earlier that justice is here, and that is something that they feel is on their side, it seems. Then the Death card is in between these two. That's like the end for one and a beginning for another. And Death is walking away, as you can see, with some flowers in the background. So this is almost like I feel like I'm almost getting a vision of the person walking away with her in her sleeping bag. Like, okay, that life is gone now, the one we're leaving, and now we're heading into this other life over here with me. And there we have justice right there. Then there is the Knight of Pentacles. Oh, just hit the camera, sorry for the wobbling. Knight of Pentacles next to the Five of Wands. Five of Wands is definitely the sparring, fighting over something, maybe fighting with others, because these all look like they're equal combatants. Not that this is her being fought by her abductor. Maybe they took this child to their own environment and they encountered people there that were not on board with their plan, and they were trying to fight him on that. So maybe there are other people in their life that know of this and are trying to fight him on this, or her. Could be her as well. We don't know, but it seems like that is some type of opposition that they're getting from people around them. So that is interesting. They're experiencing some type of opposition, and the person in the opposition is a Knight of Pentacles, which somebody is normally very methodical, planned out. It could be this is somebody who tends to tell this other person, this Knight of Swords over here, like, hey, maybe you shouldn't do that. Like somebody who tends to keep an eye on somebody else who is struggling. Like sometimes you have somebody who's struggling, and then there's somebody who is fairly well put together who keeps trying to help them out in their different situations and their different issues, and hoping that the person who's struggling will improve, but not really seeing any type of improvement, but still persisting. And that persistent energy is something that I do associate with the Knight of Pentacles, because I see this person, yeah, they've armored up in this case. Like the Knight of Swords only really took time to put on a helmet and grab a sword, and the Knight of Pentacles is completely kitted out with sword and shield and ready to go. Actually looks pretty relaxed. So this is somebody I feel who is more put together and possibly trying to turn things around. Like I'm getting the impression that this might be going pretty far off into imagination land here, but if this were the case, this could be the person who is saying, okay, well, I'm not going to immediately call the cops, but we can still maybe fix this. Maybe we can contact them somehow. Maybe we can come up with a story as to how they ended up with you so you don't have to go to jail, that type of thing. You know what I mean? And that's kind of the Five of Wands struggle over here, possibly, with them on the one side saying, no, I want to keep this child, and then the Knight saying, no, we can't do that, you have to do the right thing, you have to turn them in, something like that. Maybe that occurred at some point. That seems to be what's being said here. In any case, this person felt like they were right in doing what they did. So what about Cleo themselves? Can we find out anything about her, what she's doing right now, what state she's in? Is there anything that can be said about that? First card, King of Pentacles in reverse. So that is somebody who is not spending their wealth correctly. This could be opportunity wasted. The apples are on the floor, as you can see. So, and they're currently just focused on that one pentacle in their lap. So this is the singular focus that I'm seeing here again. This king, this Knight of Swords may have now hit this king energy in a reversed manner. So he is doubling down on their decision, looks like, and leaving all other things behind. Because if you notice, there are 4 apples at the base of the throne. There is one back here as well. I just noticed there's a 5th apple right there. So that's the one that they've chosen, and the other 4 could also be seen as the 4 other opinions over here that are battling it out with him over there. Just something that stood out to me, but maybe not relevant, I don't know, but it stood out, so I thought I would tell you. Let's see if we can find anything else. 2 of Cups is here, so there could be some type of bond being formed, perhaps being the bond between them strengthening, or maybe they have a bond that makes it so that they wouldn't immediately rat them out, so to speak. I have a couple others here that switched as well. We have here the Ace of Pentacles, so there's definitely this idea of starting over with something new, and it could be that they do have plans for Cleo to possibly stay in their life for a long time. Here we have a Queen of Wands in reverse, which could be the partner in this case. That might earlier have been represented by the Knight of Pentacles. So this could be a couple, like I said, that tends to have a certain dynamic. So it's not just a friendship, but more like they've known each other for some time, and I think they may even be together, and perhaps there might even be an issue within the marriage where they could not have children, or there's some type of infertility going on that they thought that they could fix this way. And once again, we have the Eight of Swords, so we're still stuck in that mindset. There's definitely some intrusive thoughts here, I believe, like just trapping themselves with certain thoughts and feelings, mostly thoughts because it's a sword card, but there's of course feelings attached to those thoughts, so they seem to be trapped there. And now it's on the Queen side, so maybe they also have certain thoughts that just tend to rule this relationship. They may be in some type of a little world of their own, is what I'm getting here. But what about Cleo herself? Because we're not actually seeing too much about her directly. This is mostly just the two people that might be involved in this. Seven of Swords, that's deception. So they might be currently trying to tell her that it's okay and that her parents maybe knew about this, perhaps to keep her calm or something like that. That's the vibe I'm getting here. Leaving the two swords behind in there in the background, which could be representing the mother and the boyfriend that were left behind. So they might be telling her that it's okay to keep her calm. She's 4 years old, so she's old enough to ask questions, but she might not quite understand the situation fully. So maybe they were able to fool her into thinking that this is okay and normal, and this is something that mommy and daddy approved of, that type of thing. And the Five of Cups is normally a crying over spilled milk card, but it's in reverse, so maybe this is more a part of the deception, that they're asking her not to look at the fact that mommy's not here. You know, that's okay, it's fine, we're here, we'll take care of you, they're okay with this, you'll see him again, that type of thing. They're keeping her from asking too many questions, and perhaps also having to deal with her wanting to go back to her parents and sibling. But we do have the Sun here, so even though she's not really where she wants to be, it almost looks like she is bringing light to their existence. So her sunny demeanor might still be in effect, regardless of her asking questions and wanting to go home. Although I'm looking at the small one in the pouch down there. Let me just grab this. Also typical that this appears to be a kangaroo when we're talking about an Australian case. Anyway, so the Joey over there is holding a flag, a red flag. It's not quite a white flag, as in I gave up, but it could be like trying to attract attention. It almost looks like the parent in this case, or the elder, is trying to make it seem like everything's okay. Just like I said earlier with the other two cards over there, everything's fine, you know, mom knows about this, it's okay. But the child is still giving off these warning signals, like maybe they're also keeping her from the world outside, because of course everybody now knows what she looks like because there's pictures of her everywhere, but also just kind of because even if they didn't know what she looked like, she might start giving off these vibes of, I don't really know these people, please help me, that type of thing. Okay, so the Five of Pentacles is here, which I think represents the feeling of loss internally and want and need. They are probably people who lack for a lot of things, and it could be mostly mentally, emotionally, but it could also be that they just are very poor, impoverished, that type of thing. Then we have here the Page of Cups. So this could be an emotional surprise that's coming up. So that's interesting. This is probably talking about the future. So they are currently not in a great state. They're trying to play theatrics to keep the child calm. But we are going to get an unexpected surprise here, and a whole bunch of cards dropped off. So let's see what we get. Got 4 extras. So we have here the Ten of Cups in reverse. So that means heartbreak. At least that's what I'm seeing here. Normally Ten of Cups is like harmony, great things, emotionally, that type of thing, but it's the exact opposite in this case. They're just not going to have that happy ever after. We have here the reversed page of wands, which is normally a head over heels type of action. I think that this means that they're going to take some stupid actions that are going to lead to their discovery, which of course for Cleo and her family are good actions to take, so we can actually see what happened to her, followed by the Four of Wands in reverse, which is again a lack of harmony. So we're seeing a lot of cards of disharmony and things being done hastily and incorrectly, and once again we're back at the Three of Swords. So I think this is to say that she will be found, and whatever happy ever after they had in mind for themselves is not going to happen. So that's an interesting follow-up. So this looks like this is going to be in the future. I don't know if this is going to be soon-ish, I think, because this is a very rapid succession. These cards, these last, 6 cards came out all together and face up, and that usually means they all need to be included in the reading. So this is kind of like the beginning of the end right here with the Page of Cups, and then everything falls down like a house of cards, and whatever they had in mind leads to tears. Now, are we going to see Cleo back alive? Let's see if we can find any cards about that. Any last cards about the situation? Nine of Swords, there's a lot of worry here. We also have the Ten of Wands, which is a lot of burden. So this is perhaps still the follow-up of this situation back here. Like there's a lot of worry, disharmony starting, and then we get the Ten of Wands and Nine of Swords, as in, oh no, what are we going to do now? So that seems to be the follow-up. We have the Hermit, which is returning inward, probably just trying to hide from the world, which is interesting because the next one we have here is the Wheel of Fortune, so that's things changing. And I kind of see that also as a little bit a representation of that world that they're trying to hide from and meditate on, because it looks as though after this whole worry they're going to retreat mentally and they're going to try to figure things out. But we have the Wheel of Fortune, which means that things are going to change, and change rapidly, because we have here the Knight of Wands also in reverse. That is another set of probably unthought through changes. And the last card that I have here for this case is the Ace of Swords in reverse. So that is an initiative that is not going to come to fruition. The swords, of course, being a communication suit, a mental suit, so they're very much stuck in her mind, which is also kind of represented by the Hermit here, just kind of trying to figure things out for themselves. And they come up with a decision hastily made because of the Knight of Wands over here, which is not going to lead to anything good. And that could be anything. I don't want to say I fear the worst, but I kind of do. I don't know what's going to happen necessarily, but the tarot seems to suggest that things are going to go very badly for them all of a sudden, and the decision that's going to be made to try and fix this, it could be very detrimental, so that's not a good sign. Hopefully it'll be much more positive than that. We can't really say, but this is what I'm seeing right now. In any case, I hope you found that interesting. Be sure to leave a like and a comment. That really helps the channel along. I hope to see you in another video. Thanks for watching, and bye-bye for now.